Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to be testing out some of the premier speed transcended characters, and of course, the biggest showcase is going to be on Corvus. And now an interesting second title for this video that actually works really well is Boys That Do Better with the SFX On. Now, I've been complaining in recent videos about the SFX issue, or not the SFX issue, about the targeting issue with the distance on the Black Order's Awakening skill. So for Supergiant, Black Dwarf, and for Corvus specifically, because they're the only three that are transcended, when they do their Awakening skill, they jump back so much that you can't cancel into other skills. Well, that's only if you have SFX off. As you can see with SFX on, I can cancel easily. I can also run out of his tornado easily, but I can cancel. As soon as I see that blue circle, I can cancel out, and that works perfectly to allow me to just, you know, completely chain that successfully. So it makes him even more proc friendly, in my opinion. So I was a bit annoyed with the last couple times that I've tested some of these characters out because of how the Awakening skill, not that I'm annoyed with the character, like the character's still really, really good, but the Awakening skill in specific has been giving me a bit of a headache. But now, all you gotta do, you see that blue circle, boom, and that's it. It's so easy. He stands right next to the boss. And so that actually leads me to believe that these skills are actually being designed, the targeting is being designed for these skills with SFX on. And that's why when you turn SFX off, things start to go all you know, kind of funky. And we've actually seen that with other characters in the past, and we're actually, well, there's another character that I'm going to surprise you guys with that has that same issue. And also Cable, Kid Cable, has the same thing where he moves too far back if you have SFX off with his tier 3 and you actually can't cancel it into other skills. But with SFX on, it's perfect. He just stands in the exact right place and bingo, bango, bongo. So we're crushing it right now, by the way. Stage 19, if you guys think that this is easy, you know, oh, he's got all this pierce, now he's just going to flex with these crazy fast clears. Oh, no, 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 no. Wait till you see how Bullseye does on this exact same stage with this exact same team up. The really nice thing about comparing Corvus and Bullseye is they're both speed villains. Now we're just going to gun it here because we can. Boom! 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And I love how when you finish on the Awakening skill, sometimes Thanos is just hovering up there menacingly looking down at the boss's corpse as they sort of crumple to the ground. So yeah, he did it in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's extremely fast for stage 19. And his build, I'm just going to go over it quickly before we jump into the comparison with Bullseye. I'm just going to show you how amazing these characters are that have been introduced recently. His build is pretty much the same as the last time I left off. We're ranked 79 now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Odin's Blessings, including 3 Strike, which is super rare and super valuable. We've got a stage 12 Overdrive, not Power Banker Hulk, sorry, Overdrive. We've got a regular CTP of Energy with a 200 proc, and then you've got the Mythic Uniform. So this is very good. I think now, knowing that you can turn the SFX on, and for those of you that aren't sure what I'm talking about as far as the Awakening skill, if you hit the settings cog and you scroll down to right here, it'll say right under download all data, SFX animation display. SFX stands for SFX. I don't know what it sounds, sound effects. I don't know what it stands for, but it's like special effects. I think it's special visual, special effects, things, the special things. So those are the camera changes and the special animations that you get for certain tier 3, for every tier 3 skill has an SFX, every Transcendence has an SFX. And most of them actually can be turned on. Like, most characters can still be played very well with SFX on. There are a few notable characters that become very frustrating to play with SFX on, like Doctor Strange. It's very, very hard to play Doctor Strange, and I think also Moon Knight is very hard to play with SFX on. But most other characters can actually do it, and you may not notice because you may always have SFX on. But if you always have it off, then some characters will perform worse, like Corvus, Black Dwarf, and Supergiant. Another character that performs worse is actually Quicksilver. We're going to do Quicksilver at the end here. Quicksilver actually does more damage, and you can test in the skill preview. He actually has more hits on his skills on 5 and 6 when you turn SFX on. So SFX can have a literal benefit, not, you know, beyond chaining your rotation perfectly, which is always good, but on top of that, it literally just adds more hits. So anyways, the nice thing about this comparison is we're just going to swap out Corvus for, no, not for Corvus. We're going to swap out Corvus for Bullseye here. We're going to lose 2 of the team-ups, of course. We're going to lose the crit rate and the other crit rate buff. That's buff, but that's okay because he doesn't need the crit rate, doesn't need the crit damage. He's already capped out. The only difference for Bullseye is that we we absolutely must use a healing striker. I'm going to try not to die, but it's really hard. It's so hard. Title of your, but let's get into it with Bullseye here. I'm going to do 3, 4, 6, 5. The rage is not going to proc. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. And there we are. Bullseye has a pretty unique skill because his 4th skill just fires him back in whatever direction he's pointing at. So it's actually kind of cool. But it also means that's pretty much all he has that makes him unique. Bullseye is super fragile and has no healing. So it really comes down to whether you can nail his rotation and really get the 6th skill to lay on tons of damage, because that's where most of his damage comes from. 4 actually does decent damage, but as you will see, I have to spend a lot of time running around, catching those heals. So Venom is 1,000,000% invaluable to the success of this run. Okay, so there you go. We're a bit behind. We're like 30 seconds behind Corvus, which is sort of to be expected here. But yeah, this dude is he's something. And again, he's not even that old of a character, right? He came out. Just eject myself. It's kind of cool. His 4th skill is pretty cool, right? Like you're getting hit by attacks and you can just jettison yourself backward. What's not cool is taking half of your life as damage when the boss decides to just give you a little tickle. But that's Bullseye. And oh no. All right, I think we're okay. And if by okay you mean, you know, grabbing onto life by the final spec, yes, that's what I meant too. So yeah, this is the Bullseye experience, and like you just compare and contrast this. Do an essay, compare and contrast this with Corvus, and it's like night and day. Corvus was already done. Corvus is like 10 seconds out from being done. This dude's still in the 2nd phase with no end in sight, and I still have to go and fetch myself all of the heals. All right. We're going to get this done, Bullseye. He's pretty fast on his feet. That's a good thing. But man, these Black Order reworks have been so good. You can see his 6 skill's pretty cracked. He does solid damage on that. But besides that skill, oh boy, are you in for a world of kind of damage. So we got 2 minutes left. I cleared this once before the recording started, and I was able to finish with, I think, 14 seconds left. So this is going to be more of that. more edge of your seat type content. We actually had to use the 2nd skill to move away from the purple. That's, you know, I will say, as much garbage as I'm leveling his way, Bullseye's way, he is really cool in the fact that he moves around a lot. With 2 and 4, you can basically reposition yourself all the time. I'm behind the boss, I'm in front of the boss. It's kind of cool. That part is definitely cool about him, and I just wish that he had... Oh no. Oh, I wish he had more survivability. Okay. I need to pick up those heals, all those juicy heals. I don't think we're gonna be able to clear this. It's not enough damage. Oh, maybe. That was actually really good. Gonna have to play footsies with him here. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we can clear this. This is gonna be like a last second clear. Wish his 5 did more damage. Yeah, this is definitely gonna end up being closer. Yeah, we have to do the cutscene. This is gonna end up being closer than oh, you know what? Nah, we don't got it. Ah, okay, we goofed up. But yeah, we could have gotten it, but it's a very, very, very tight clear. I'm not gonna rerun this and try to get a perfect run here. You can definitely get it. Honestly think that the fastest he can do it is with about 30 seconds left. So you can already see that these characters are topping out, whereas Corvus did this with 2.5 minutes left. So the gap between Corvus and Bullseye is enormous. Like it's crazy. I really wanted to highlight this in particular for this video because the ABX player base is not going to be making that much noise about Corvus. I'm not blaming them or anything, but I'm just saying Corvus is only going to score maybe 1,000,000 points more than Bullseye, which, you know, 500,000 to 1,000,000. Million is like the top end for the best players. Not a huge upgrade, but in terms of like gameplay, and he's got 1, 2, 3 Odin's Blessings. He doesn't have 7, but you know, he's got a rage, he's got a mythic uniform. You know, this is not a bad build, right? He's got 48,000 physical attack to Corvus's, what has he got? 51, 52. So they're very close, they're neck and neck. But man, Bullseye is like twice as slow as Corvus. That blows my mind. And again, Bullseye is not an old character. He was reworked at the end of last year. So we're talking like less than 6 months ago. And Corvus is just eclipsing this dude for PvE content. So as far as speed villains go, I don't even know if Gwenum can keep up with Bullseye, but Corvus is like far and away the best speed villain. Now it is kind of annoying to compare him to someone that he's a little bit closer to in terms of value, which would be, or in terms of like overall damage, which would be Rogue, because A Rogue is a tier 3 not a transcended. B, she's female and a hero versus male and villain. So, you know, she doesn't apply for here for the male one. She doesn't apply here for the human one. And then Corvus wouldn't apply for the hero one. So there's basically no stage but 9 where you can really compare the two of them. And then I think that the edge does go to Corvus because with as much Pierce as I have and as good as the builds are, the stage 9 bar is just too low now, where transcended characters have a really big boost because they can burst the first stage. They can basically one-shot the first stage of the boss. But anywho, enough blabbing. Let's do one more test here to show you guys, to remind you guys, and I'll show you guys with SFX on for Quicksilver. It actually looks really cool. But I actually think he might not need the heal, but he needs defense because he takes a lot of damage, and I don't want him to die. So let's try giving him fire resistance, and we'll jump in. And collecting those... Oh, I just died. Okay, yeah. That's sort of the problem. He can sort of deal consistent damage. I'm dead again. Okay, Quicksilver, here we go. Now, I was actually impressed with Quicksilver's gameplay to the point where I was sort of considering giving him an energy instead of a rage, just because I know that synergizes better for world boss legend content and Pierce and things like that, sort of make him, push him to a higher level. But I still have a rage on him because it just makes the rotation so much easier, so much more relaxed. You don't have to panic about doing, you know, 5 cancel 4 every single time. And also his third skill accumulation is really important to the rotation, so having that sort of always cooking rather than missing it from time to time is really nice. The SFX actually looks really cool. It's very cinematic how he just comes flying in with the kick at the end. But we're doing pretty good damage right now. But yeah, we still got a rage on him from the old days. This is a 2019 uniform. I'm a little bit late on the proc, on the rage proc for the but I popped the tier 3 so that we can go to the next phase. But yeah, this uniform is from like 2019, so he's competing with Bullseye and Corvus, who are 2020/2021 characters, but relatively new, right? We don't need to watch out here. I've actually already died twice recording to this tornado attack, so he absolutely cannot handle that. But we're gonna burst off the tier 3, and we're actually just gonna switch. The switch there is so that I can confirm the damage, but then I don't die because he would 100%. 100%. We're not even going to try. We're not even going to try Winter Soldier. We'll wait for, you know, the possible Winter Soldier and Falcon uniforms for Falcon the Winter Soldier. We need some healing though, man. We died again. Yeah, this is basically the issue I've been having. You can see I actually swapped the strikers. Well, you can't see, but I swapped the strikers because originally I had 2 fire resist strikers, and then I swapped to 2 damage reduction strikers. But this is really the problem with Quicksilver. I actually have not been able to complete a run. I think maybe he has the damage. Again, it would be very, very tight like Bullseye, but I wanted to showcase it, 1, because of the SFX thing, and 2, because it's just interesting to see that a character like Quicksilver, who was released back in 2019, is keeping up, you know, on this stage against Mephisto with Bullseye, a character released in 2020, the end of 2020, early 2021, and then they're both getting absolutely eclipsed by Corvus. And the thing is, Corvus is around the same price as Quicksilver. He's actually cheaper than Quicksilver. So that is another huge bonus for Corvus. So yeah, I really can't say enough about him as far as in his own class, right? As far as being a speed type and as far as being a villain, he's untouchable. 100% the best. As far as being a speed type, he's very, very close to #1. I think he's the #1 speed transcended character, no doubt in my mind. There's nobody that comes close to him as a transcended. As far as speed tier 3s, you really only have Luna and Rogue in my mind that can really compete with him at all. So that's really impressive. He's basically automatically the 3rd best speed character in the game. That's sick, right? Considering we need more of those as well. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Corvus's dominant performance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.